Hey, what's up, Logo Psychology students? Welcome back to another week. Happy Monday, May 11th. It is day 33 of our COVID-19 stay-at-home e-learning experience. Again, happy Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you all had a good Mother's Day. Got to spend some time with the mothers in your lives. But it is back at it on a beautiful Monday morning. Let's get right back into the e-learning psychology work. We can do that by getting onto our Blackboard page as always. Let's go ahead and minimize this so we can see our Blackboard bulletin board where we see our e-learning instructions as always. We also have our topics tab. So let's take a look at the topics tab. I always like to show you the topics tab, so you look at the topics. That's where we find our readings. That's where we can find past assignments, and also just have an idea of what we are studying right now in class. Most recent topic will always be to the left, and that is sociocultural influences and self. How do individuals' interactions with society and culture influence their thoughts and behavior? That's what we've been talking about over the past week or so. Not just how your culture, but how the people around you affect you, how you think and how you act. And so our most recent, today's assignment is going to be, you see right there, chapter 20, page 608 to 615. Over here we have where you can download the readings, so I'm going to go ahead and download those pages. What, a 7-page reading today, 608, which you might have read some of this, begins with this section, yielding to others. Yielding to others. What does that mean, yielding to others, right? It means following other people's directions, right? And what influences whether or not we do what people tell us to do. We go with what others are doing, right? That's what this section's all about. So beginning with yielding to others, here on page 608, continues on to page 609, there is an experiment here that they talk about, which we will be watching a video and answering a question of the day on. Scroll on down to compliance with authority. Again, how likely are you to comply with authority, right? And you might say, I'm not likely at all. I do what I want. Nobody tells me what to do, but you do, right? We all do it. We all decide sometimes to go with what people are telling us to do, and sometimes we decide to resist and not go along with what people are telling us to do. What influences that? That's the question here, right? The sources of the information are a big thing. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at Bugs Bunny. How about that? So, if we continue on down to the last page of the section, we will see our pause for thought questions, which this is our assignment for the day, and you can get to that in multiple ways. It's right here on the topics page. It's an embedded Google form, right? You don't need to submit through these Google forms, but these are a good way to submit past assignments. If you have any previous assignments that are no longer active, you can still, remember, access them from the topics page. If I scroll all the way down to the bottom, I go all the way back to chapter 19. And I have even older assignments in the older topics going back to chapter 18, right? See that? But the active assignments, remember, are always going to be under the assignments tab. So let's go ahead and take a look at that assignments tab. We see chapter 20, page 608 to 615. That is today's assignment. Those are the 3 pause for thought questions that go along with this reading. These 3 questions right here, right? What are those questions, right? They're talking about 2 studies. Stanley Milgram, and Solomon Asch both did some experiments to look at how likely people are to comply with either a group or with a person in authority. Very revealing experiments. We will be talking about those this week. Number 2 talks about how we can immunize ourselves against persuasion, right? How can we overcome being persuaded to do things? And number 3 is talking about cults, right? Cults are a real thing, right? And one thing that cults do is convince people to join and then convince them that they can't leave on their own, right? And we'll see how that works. But that is the assignment. The other assignment we have, as always, is our question of the day, right? And this is our participation assignment. And let's look at our question of the day, because this is an interesting one, I think. Question of the day is, if we can bring it up, there it is. So it has this, it's about 5-minute YouTube video, less than 5 minutes, like 4 minutes, right? And it's looking at a guy named Ash, Solomon Ash's studies into conformity, right? Conforming with the group, right? And the question is, after you watch this video, do you think you would be more likely to follow the crowd or go against what everyone else is doing? There's no right or wrong answer here. Just explain why. Why would you be more likely to go with the crowd? You might be one who says, I don't want to cause any trouble, right? I don't want people to think I'm stupid, right? I would be more likely, if I'm being honest, to just go with the crowd, even if I know it's wrong. People do it, right? Or I wouldn't go with the crowd. I'd stand up and say, y'all are wrong, and this is why. Again, there's no right or wrong answer here, but be honest, right? Let's take a look at this video real quick. Just a little snippet of it. This is the embedded video, and yeah, it's 4 minutes long.
An experiment is not a public opinion poll. It examines behavior under the pressure of social forces.
So it's a very simple study. What Ash did was,
the experiment you'll be taking part in today involves
he showed people
lines,
just
lengths of lines.
As
you can see here, I have a number of cards,
see?
And on each card there are several lines. Your task is a very simple one. You're to look at the line on the left and determine which of the 3 lines on the right is equal to it in length. All right, we'll proceed in this order. You'll give your answer.
Only one of the people in the group is a real subject, the 5th person with the white T-shirt. The others are confederates of the experimenter and have been told to give wrong answers on some of the trials.
All right, so that's the point, right? You got 5 people in a room, right? 4 of them are going to give the wrong answer on purpose. The question is, how likely is the 5th one to give the wrong answer? Even though it's obviously wrong, even though obviously these 2 lines are not the same length. If all 4 people in a room said, well, I think they're the same length, and you can tell they're not, what would you do? That's the question here, right? So, watch the video, answer the question of the day, and if you have any questions for me, right, or any concerns about the assignment, remember you can submit the assignment either through the online submission or through Google Forms. But if you have any issues with that, let me know. Otherwise, have a good one, and I will see y'all later. Peace.